Hello everyone. Now consider the next chapter, that is, name of the chapter is correlation analysis. It's a very easy chapter, very small one also. Now consider the introduction first. Two variables, suppose x and y, are said to be correlated if a change in one variable results in corresponding change in other variable. For example, if x and y are related by a particular equation, then by go on putting values of x, we get different values of y, like that only. If one change uh, in one variable results, if it is results in corresponding change in other variable, then we can call it as the both variables are correlated to each other. Okay, using correlation analysis, the relationship between two variables can be measured quantitatively, and relation can be expressed in terms of a brief mathematical formula. Now consider first types of correlation. Number 1, positive and negative correlation. First, two variables are said to be positively correlated with each other if an increase or decrease in one variable, if it is results in corresponding same increase and decrease in other second variable, then we can call it as both the variables are positively correlated. For example, if population grows with respect to time, as time increases, population increases. Okay, as time cannot be decreased, obviously. Family income and expenditure. Okay, if family income is more, expenditures are more, or expenditures are more, we have to make family income must be more. Okay, these are all positively correlated. Like for example, height and weight. According to height, weight is also vary, or weight also increases. Okay, etc. In the reverse of above, negative correlation in between x and y is nothing but increase or decrease in one variable results in opposite decrease or increase in second variable. Right? Okay, for example, volume and pressure. If you go on increasing volume of particular material of particular substance, pressure will be minimized. Or if you minimize the volume, pressure will be increased. It is in opposite direction, therefore, or inversely correlated. Like for example, that. And price and demand. If price increases, demand decreases, or if demand increases, price decreases. Okay, etc. These are some formula examples of positive and negative correlation. Now consider linear and non-linear correlation. Two variables are said to be linearly correlated if corresponding to one unit. This is one unit change in one variable, there occurs a constant change in second variable. Okay, there should be constant change in the resultant variable or other variable. If we go on having change in first variable, the change must be constant. For example, these are x values, these are y values. Okay, x value is at 0, the y value is 2. There is a difference between 2 of this. And again, x value, if x value is 1, y value is 3. Again difference is 2. Again here also difference is 2. Again here difference is also 2. That means the change is a constant change. That's why it is called linear correlated. Again, if we put this value in particular equation, y is nothing but x plus 2. Okay, this is the plotting, just a plotting of point. An equation of this graph is just y is equal to x plus 2. Okay, this point satisfies this equation. And x and y indices are 1 1. That's why it is a linear equation, which is a straight line. This is also obviously a straight line. That's why this type of relationship or correlation is also called as a linear correlation, or variables are linearly correlated. In contrary, variables are said to be non-linearly correlated, or non-linear correlation between x and y is nothing but if corresponding one unit change in one variable, there doesn't occur a constant change. The change is not a constant in other variable. In that case, we call it as non-linearly correlated variables, or non-linear correlation between x and y variable. For example, x is this 0, y is 2, x is 1, y is 5. There is a difference is also different. Okay, it is 2, it is 10. There is a 2 difference here. Here difference is 4, here difference is 8, and so on. Difference is different. That's why it is not a linear correlated, it is a non-linear correlation between x and y. Okay, now consider the next correlation is a just we have studied, just we have see the definition. And second thing is causation. Causation, what is the meaning of that? Let us see. Though correlation analysis enable us to find out the degree and direction of the relationship between two variables. Degree and direction means how those relation x and y vary each other. Okay, that is the degree and depth of the relationship is nothing but degree and the direction of that particular relationship. But it does not say anything about the cause and effect relationship. For example, why that change occurs, that is a cause, and what will be the effect, it doesn't say anything about it. That's why some in some cases correlations fail. That's why where two variables have high degree correlation between them, those variables x and y. Following are some reasons, some causes are there. First, mutual dependency. For example, if x variables are mutually dependent on each other in some cases. For example, prices of commodity are greatly affected by parameters of demand and supply, right? Price of any commodity or any substance or any matter is depend on the parameter demand, and how particular demand of that commodity is there, and how we can supply that commodity. The price is defined on this. That is, demand decreases as price increases, and hence cause is reduced. That cause is reduced demand, and effect is increased price. Okay. Second, B, variables are affected by external forces. Suppose these two variables are affected by third more or more than three variables, then in that case this is the one of the cause between highly correlation between these variables. For example, high degree of correlation between two variables is due to interaction of those variables with the third variable or extra forces or extra more than third one variables. For example, degree of correlation between yield of two crops, potato and rice. Okay, these are two crops, potato and rice, and may be due to effect of other factors, like it depends on the weather also, how weather is that, it depends on the pesticides also, and rest of the it depends on the rainfall also, like that only. Okay, these are the external forces or external variables are there. Pure chance. Sometimes this degree of high correlation occurs just by chance. For example, high degree of correlation between size of shoe and shoes, there are shoes, and intelligence of intelligence of group of people. If intelligence is one variable and shoe is the other variable, these are totally irrelevant to each other, right? Shoe size and intelligence is not at all depend on each other, or these are the totally irrelative, seems to be very irrelative. But in some cases some samples are taken for that also. Such type of correlation if you found, then it is called spurious or nonsense. It is like nonsense only, nonsense correlation. Okay, now there are some methods, there are only two methods in our syllabus to find out the correlation between two variables. Method of studying correlation, that first is Carl Pearson's Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. It is called covariance method. That formula consists of covariance. That's why it is called covariance method. Or second one is rank correlation. Okay, now consider the first method, Carl Pearson's correlation coefficient method. This method is measured the intensity or magnitude of linear relationships in terms of Pearson's uh, Pearsonian correlation coefficient between x and y. It is denoted by r. Generally, it is denoted by small r of xy in the bracket, or just r suffix xy. These are two variables, and between these two variables, this is the coefficient of correlation or correlation coefficient, or simply r. Sometimes in example they can use simply r. And what is that r? It is a covariance. Definition of r, this r is covariance of x and y divided by sigma x sigma y. What is sigma x? We already known. What is sigma? It is a standard deviation, and sigma square we know it is a variance, and what is square root of variance is a standard deviation. That's why sigma x is nothing but standard deviation of x, and sigma y is standard deviation of y. And suppose, and what is covariance? Let us see. If x1 y1 x2 y2 xn yn are n observation like this, these are x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3 as like this. Suppose these are n observations xn yn, okay, of x and y. Then covariance of x and y is defined as 1 upon n summation bracket x minus x bar. What is x bar? X bar is mean of x, mean or average of x, of average of, and y bar is mean of y or capital Y. Therefore 1 upon n summation x minus x bar into summation into y minus y bar. This is the definition of covariance of x. And sigma x value is under root of 1 upon n summation x minus x bar bracket square is there, and sigma y is summation under root 1 upon n. Same terms are there, just replace x by y here. Okay, therefore by putting all this value in above equation, what we get? R is equal to summation x minus x bar y minus y bar divided by summation two multiplication of two summations, that is x minus x bar square y minus y bar square. This is one. There are total 3 definitions, different kind of formula for R, and depend on the given things in the example, we have to use that correspondingly. Okay, now consider the example. From the following data, these are the data given, x values and y values. In this example, the middle y value is not given, it is a question mark. We want to find out first that y value, then afterwards we have to calculate coefficient of correlation by Karl Pearson's method. That means we have to find out r value by the given formula or given things in the example. Arithmetic mean of x, that is mean of x and mean of y are given, that is 6 and 8. First start from the given thing. Here mean of x, that is x bar is equal to 6, mean of y is equal to y bar is equal to 8. Therefore we have to find out first this y. That's why we use first this mean of y thing. What is the mean of y? Average of all these numbers. Then 9 plus 11 plus, suppose this question mark is a, we have to find out this a, plus 8 plus 7 divided by total. How many numbers are there? Average means we have to divide by total number of outcomes there. How many terms are there? Y, total number of 5. Okay, and solving this we get a is equal to 5. Average of all these things is equal to 8. Therefore we get the third number as 5. Now once we get these observation, we have to find out the correlation R coefficient by Karl Pearson's method. That means we have to find out R. Consider this table. Accordingly, in the this is the formula for correlation. This is our original formula, this one, just we have tried. In this formula, what we have needed? X bar is there, y bar is there. We have to find out x minus x bar column, y minus y bar column, and multiplication of those two columns, and then addition of all these columns. Okay, again here x minus x bar, once we calculate, we have to again put one more column, that is x minus x bar square, y minus y bar square. Again add all this two column, we get two numbers, and multiply these two numbers and take a square root of that. Therefore according to this formula, we have prepared this column. First one is x and y, these are given thing, where put value of a here in the in terms of in the place of question mark here. Okay, 5. Okay, these are x value, these are the y value. First already x bar and y bar are given in the example only. If they are not given, we have to calculate those. X minus x bar column, that is x minus 6. This x minus x bar is 6 minus 6 0. 6 minus 2 is minus 6 minus x minus 2 minus 6 is minus 4, 10 minus 6 is 4, 4 minus 6 minus 2, 8 minus 6 is 2. Again likely, similarly we have to find out y minus y bar. What is y bar? Mean of this y, that is 8. This is given thing. Therefore go on putting value of 9 minus 8 1, 9 minus 8 1, 11 minus 8 3, 5 minus 8, that is, so go on subtracting these values and add all these things in the bottom line. We get the summation values. These are the all summation, means addition of all values. Third value, third column, x minus x bar, this term, its square, 0 square 0, minus 4 square 16, plus 4 square 16, minus 2 square 4, and so on. Y minus y bar square column, 1 square, 3 square, minus 3 square, 0 square is 0, minus 1 square 1, and add the total. Add these total numbers, so we get the summation of this term. Now x minus x bar into y minus y bar, this term into this column, multiplication, 0 into 1 0, 4 into 3 minus 4 into 3 minus 12, 4 into minus 3 minus 12, and so on. Okay, and addition all this, we get summation of this two product. Now put all these values in the formula. Formula is this. Okay, you have to mug up all these formulas. Okay, now put values of summation x minus x bar, means this term, sum, minus 26, under root as it is, summation x minus x bar square, this x minus x bar square, its sum 40, y minus y bar square, its sum 20, under calculate on calci, we get the answer minus 0.92 for r. Okay, now consider second smaller example. If coefficient of correlation is 0.48, it is given, and covariance is 36, means r is given, covariance is given, and variance of x is given, that is sigma x square. Variance means square, standard deviation is only sigma x. If sigma x square is given 16, we have to find out variance and standard deviation, means same, these two terms are same. Taking square root of variance means standard deviation. We have to find out variance and standard deviation of y. Okay, now consider, given r is equal to 0.48, covariance is 36, covariance of means covariance of x and y. Covariance means x and y are there, both variables. Sigma x square is 16, therefore from this sigma x is nothing but square root of 16, we have to take positive sign, 4. Now consider r is equal to, this is the formula, r has different formula, this is also formula, this is also formula, right? But we have to consider those formula in which the given things can be fit in. Okay, so r is equal to covariance xy divided by sigma x sigma y. All these things in this formula, r is given, covariance is given, sigma x is given. That's why we can easily find out sigma y. Okay, therefore 0.48 is equal to 36 upon 4 sigma y. From that, sigma y becomes, by calculator, 18.75. This is the standard deviation. And variance means its square. Take a square of on calculate on calci only, 18.75 its square. Okay, this is the next smaller example. Now consider this note. If n observations are there, then if in particular examples, if n values are given and other values are given, then we have to use other formula of this correlation coefficient, that is r, as like this: summation of x minus x bar into y minus y bar, denominator numerator is same, divided by, in the denominator we have to replace by the square root by n into sigma x sigma y. Okay, where sigma x formula, sigma x square formula is 1 upon n summation x minus x bar bracket square. Similarly for y also there is, just replace x by y. Okay, consider this example depend on this formula. If r is equal to 0.8 is given, summation xy is given 60, sigma y, that is standard deviation 2.5, and summation x square is given 90. These all sums are given, we don't need to calculate all these things. Where x and y are deviated from mean, that means x minus x bar, this is called deviation. Find number of observations, that means we have to find number of, how many number of observations are there, that means we have to find out n. small n. Okay, now consider, let n be the number of observation. Sigma x square, that is variance of x square, which is given thing. Okay, sigma x square is equal to 1 upon n. This is a formula, basic formula. Now what is given? X and y are deviated from their mean. Therefore here x minus x bar is nothing but small x. Okay, if they are deviated from mean, x minus x bar is nothing but small x, and y minus y bar is nothing but small y. Put value of this x minus x bar is equal to x is here, and this value is given 90. Then this comes to 90 upon n. Okay, now put value of r here. Formula of r is like this only. R is equal to summation of this divided by n sigma x sigma y, as it is. Now put value of this as x, this as y, and this as same as it is. Keep it as it is. We get summation x y upon n into summation sigma x sigma y. Now put all these given values in this equation. What we get? R is equal to this 0.8. Summation of x y is given 60 divided by n. We have to calculate sigma x, taking square root of this is sigma x square. Taking square root, we get sigma x, that is square root of 90 upon root n, and sigma y as it is. Sigma y is given also 2.5. Here you can put 2.5 also. Now this n and this root n gets cancelled. One root n remains here. This as it is, 60 upon this root 90 into sigma y is 2. This is 5. Okay. Now therefore root n take on this side, 60 upon this root 90, 2.5 and 0.8. Calculate on calcium, we get n, that is number of observation is equal to 10. These examples are very easy as compared to first and second chapter. Out of 6 chapters, the first and second chapter is the biggest chapters of probabilities, and little bit tough also. Okay, now these are some homeworks, like this example only. This you easily get this example. Just refer this, and you have to solve these 2 examples. Number 1, x and y is given. These are observations. Okay, you have to find out r, and answer is 0.78. Okay, just try at home. Again, this is price and demand. Price are this, and demand of particular substance or particular commodity is given like this. You can denote price as x and demand as y. Okay, assume that. This is not given in the example, but you should assume those variables, because every time you cannot write price and demand in words. Okay, and this is price given, demand is given. We have to find out r. Answer is minus 0.9540, and solve these 2 examples using this example only. Okay, the method is same. You have to make all these columns. Here extra information is we have to calculate, that is this question mark point. Here we don't need to find out anything else. Just make out this table and find out all the summation values and put all these values in the r value, and just check out where the answers are same or not. Okay. Similarly, this example also calculate R12. R12 means in this example case A, B, C, D, these are extra information given. We don't need to consider this for calculation. X1 and X2, instead of X and Y in the given example, they have written X1 and X2. Assume X1 and X2. That's why instead of RXY, you have to calculate, you have to write it as R12. 1 means first variable, 2 means second variable. Like for example, RXY. Okay, instead of X there is 1, that is X1. Instead of Y there is 2, that is X2. Okay, and answer is given. Just check out this. Now consider the properties. Okay. Now consider the properties of this correlation coefficient, that is R. First property, there are very important properties. You can study this, or you have to mug up all these things. First, Pearsonian correlation lies between, that means correlation coefficient lies between -1 to 1. Means what? Every answer of R must be lies between -1 to 1. It should not greater than 1, it should not less than -1. Okay. Second, correlation is independent of change of origin and scale. Irrespective of origin and scale, if they change the origin and scale, we are going to study one example also. You can get it easily. Irrespective of that, correlation coefficient doesn't change. It is independent of that change. Two independent variables are uncorrelated, but converse is not true. Okay, two independent variables are uncorrelated. Okay, they are not related to each other, but its converse means uncorrelated variables are independent is not true. Okay, if x and y are two correlated or correlated at random variables, then r of, this is r of x and y, instead of that, instead of x, they consider ax plus b and cy plus d. Just mug up, this is the one formula which is equal to, the answer for this is a cross a into, it's not cross, a into c divided by, here cross is there because these are variable vectors, a bar cross c bar, and modulus, we have to take modulus of this vector cross product into r, this is normal xy. Okay, this is the formula for if variables are replaced by these two. Okay, where a, b, c, d are constants obviously, and a bar, c bar are vectors, and mod of a bar, c bar is just a modulus of a bar cross a, c bar. Now next, this is just a formula. If ax plus by plus c, if in any example this is given, okay, then correlation between x and y is always 1 if a and b have opposite signs. Sign of a and b are different, means if a is positive, b is negative, or b is positive, a is negative, in that irrespective of number, a can be anything, b can be anything, just sign, we have to consider the sign and the equation. Okay, this c can be either of the side. Okay, in some example they are on it can be on LHS side or it can be on RHS side also, but for these two x and y, both should be on LHS side. In that case, if a and b are of different sign, then r must be equal to 1. Okay, and if it is of same sign, then r is equal to -1. In short, r is equal to 1 if a and b are opposite sign, a and b are of opposite sign, and is equal to -1 if a and b are of same sign. Okay, now note, formula for rxy can be also rewritten. This is another formula for correlation. Rxy is equal to n into summation uv minus 1 bracket summation u, other bracket summation v, and to under root is the biggest root, 1 bracket into second bracket, n into summation u square minus summation u its square. This is a different, this is a difference. Okay, this is a bracket square, it is not bracket, it is u square, into bracket same again same bracket, just replace u by v. Okay, where u is, what is u? In example, we have to consider u as x minus x bar, v as y minus y bar. Okay.